Alright, so we're out here today doing the first steps to making our micro kill plot here with no equipment, just hand tools, backpack sprayers, hand spreaders, stuff like that. So we wanted to let you guys know, to our first 1,500 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. Whoever the winner is will have the choice between either a nested backpack, which comes with a set of climbing sticks and a tree stand, or a top-of-the-line Micro-Clover trail camera. All you have to do to get entered to win is subscribe to our channel and email us a screenshot that shows that you're subscribed. And then whenever we're ready to hold the contest, we'll have a deer head on display and some trail camera pictures of it. And then you guys will get to estimate the score of the deer, and whoever's the closest will get to choose between the nested backpack or the top-of-the-line Micro-Clover trail camera. So today we're going to be burning it off. We got our backpack sprayer full of water. You want to make sure when you're burning an area that you have a lot of help, more help than you would think you would need, so that you won't run out of water and the fire won't get out of hand. Specifically in these micro plots, because there might not be a place to get a fire truck in if the fire does get out of hand. I can't stress this enough. You need to make sure that you're careful when you're burning off the field, and you want to make sure that you pick the best time of day when the wind has died down for the day and there's not going to be any chance of some big gusts coming through and letting the fire get out of hand. So we just finished up burning this little section. It took about 15-20 minutes. We had a real light wind, so basically none, and it burnt real slow. It didn't get out of hand at any point, and we didn't even use the backpack sprayer in this case. The leaf blower worked really well, but it's always good to have a second option of water on backup just in case. So we think this spot's going to work out really well. We've had a stand here in that tree over there for several years, but it's just never quite been what we wanted it to, so hopefully this food plot will help it out a little bit. The deer already travel through this area to go from the crop fields in the evenings and then come back in the mornings, so we're hoping that this little micro food plot will help keep the deer to stay here a little bit longer and maybe catch an extra couple to come by our stand during deer season. So that's what we're hoping for with this micro plot, so we'll see how that works this season. So we're going to be putting clover down here. You can actually hear the geese flying over right now. It's March 2nd. So the next step will be coming in here and pulling up the little small locust trees that are left and cutting these briars down. And then once it greens up, it'll be time to come in and spray it and kill off all the new growth so that we can get a nice clean slate for our clover to come in. So we'll get back with you guys on the next step, so stay tuned for that. So I got my machete and my shovel here. I'm going to go ahead and get these briars cut down and the locust trees dug up, so I'm going to get to it. Alright, so we got all the briars cut off and pushed in a pile over there. So now I'm going to get on and ripping out these little trees. So I'm going to get to it, and then I'll get back with you guys once we're done. All right, so I just got wrapped up getting all the little trees pulled out of the ground and all the briars cut off and put up in the pile. So this stuff's really greening up pretty nice. It's March 15th today, so we'll be out in the next couple days once the sun comes out to spray it. So stay tuned for that part. That'll be coming up next. 6 ounces of clethodim here. We've got hard water here where we're spraying today, so we're gonna put in 8 ounces of AMS. And then we got our 8 ounces of Roundup. And this is going into a 4-gallon backpack sprayer. So we're getting ready to spray this plot today. We got a nice sunny day and the grass is greened up enough that it's ready to spray. You'll also want that temperature to be 65 to 70 degrees at a minimum so that the plant is actively growing so it can uptake the chemical. You also want to make sure that you're going to have 2 to 3 hours of sunshine before any rain or before it clouds back up so that that plant has enough time to absorb and uptake that chemical. That'll give you the best results, and that goes for any herbicide that you might be using. So we got a pretty good kill the first time we sprayed this with our Roundup, but we noticed that we got some little weeds coming up, so we're gonna hit it one more time before we spread our clover seed. For our chemicals, we're gonna be using clethodim and Roundup. That'll kill off broadleafs and grass. For hard to kill grasses, the clethodim works really well, especially if you mix it with Roundup. So we're gonna get started. We got 75, 80 degree temperatures today, so sun's out, so we should get a good kill. So we got some big rainstorms brewing up to our west. So we're gonna get this fertilizer spread before that rain hits. Rain will help break down the fertilizer into the soil. We would normally work this fertilizer into the ground, but because we're doing this with no equipment, that's why we're gonna do it right before the rainstorm so we can break that fertilizer down. We're gonna get the spreader loaded up and get it spread. So here we got 20 pounds of potash and 20 pounds of DAP. All right, so we just got finished up spreading this. Didn't take too long. When you're spreading fertilizer, if you're using a little broadcaster like this, you always want to make sure that you get it washed out really good after you finish up with it. Because most of your fertilizers, if not all of them, are very corrosive and it could turn your little spreader into a rust bucket if you leave them dirty like that. So I'm gonna get this one all cleaned up, and then we just gotta wait on the rain, and then we'll come back and spread our seed. So it's the middle of April. We got this kill plot sprayed twice. We got everything killed off pretty good, as you can see. So we're gonna be using Willow seed. It's a white clover, and it makes a nice broad clover leaf. The normal rate for this clover seed is 2 to 4 pounds an acre. We're not able to till up the ground on this kill plot because we're using hand tools to demonstrate this. So we won't be able to get a really good seed to soil contact. That's why we're upping the rate, because we will most likely lose some of the seed. Our kill plot here is shy of 1/4 of an acre. We're gonna put on 2 pounds here, which is probably about 4 times the normal rate. So we just got done seeding. Now we gotta wait for the rain to do its part. We will have some maintenance to do this summer on the plot. We might have to come in with a weed eater and weed eat some of the bigger weeds because we can't get a mower in here. And if we get some grass intrusion, we can come back in again and hit it with our clethodim. So stay tuned. So it's the beginning of June. We've been getting some good rains. And as you can see, the clover's coming in pretty nice. It's been about 7 or 8 weeks since we planted it. We do have some grass coming in along with some other weeds, but they're not really hurting much right now. Where we had the briars, we do have quite a few of them coming back up, but we're gonna let them get a little bit taller before we weed eat them, so that hopefully once we do weed eat them, they won't come back. So we're on our kill plot here. The clover's coming in nice, but we've got some weeds that are coming in. So we're gonna go ahead and get them weed eated. We might have to do this a few times throughout the summer to make sure them weeds don't overtake the plot. So we're gonna get started here. We got some weather brewing up, so we're gonna try to get it done. So before we wrap up this video on this kill plot, there's a couple important things that I want to mention about maintaining this clover plot. I think most people know when it comes to taking care of the weeds in a clover plot, really the only good way to do it is to mow it. Now we can spray the grasses with a herbicide like clethodim, but there's no chemical that'll kill the broadleaf weeds without killing the clover. So just like you would have to mow any other clover plot a few times throughout the year, we're gonna have to come in and weed eat this a few times to control the weeds. And most likely in the future, we will have to spray this with a chemical like clethodim to keep the grasses knocked back. And then every year we'll give this a shot of fertilizer. And if we have some bare spots come in, we can come back at the end of winter when we're getting some of those last snows and broadcast some seed over the bare spots to help fill it in. So that wraps it up for our kill plot. Came in pretty nice, and this was using no tools besides hand tools. And as you can see here, we ended up with a pretty nice clover plot. So thanks for tuning in, and remember, hard work is more reliable than luck.